Hello. It's August 2nd. Whew. What an exciting day it is. Exciting week it's been already. We got our signed lease back. From the property manager of the building. And when you believe we've been in, this is our 11th renewal, 12 years, okay? So your first year, and then we had renewals. This is our 11th renewal. And let me show you. There you go. I've got my little packet here. Let's turn the background music down just a tad. Don't want to be competing with Epidemic, our royalty-free background music. Thank you, Epidemic. It's a 3-hour clip of music. Anyway, so our leasing situation is, bottom line is, so you can relate to it, our rent went up 11.2% from the previous year. 11.2%. We have roughly 1,500 square feet. And the rent per square foot per month, building managers, people that manage apartment buildings, developers, construction people, rent per square foot per month is the figures that they throw around with each other. In other words, so if you're going to shop rents, you're in a rental market, okay, or you're a real estate broker trying to advise clients. You say, all right, I want a 2-bedroom. Well, fine, you shop for 2-bedroom apartments, but they all have different square footages, and so if you can get the rent per square foot per month, that that way you're comparing apples with apples. So with our 1,500 square foot apartment, the rent per square foot per month is, you can see it right there. Ooh, it's $2.45, $2.45. The building all the way, the Boca building all the way on Federal Highway in Camino, that 9-story building that's there. They're charging over $3 a square foot per month. So, govern yourself accordingly. So even though I'm not exactly delighted, with paying more rent, but these we watch it very carefully. I do, and included in that rent, we got 2 storage bays, which makes it about 16 feet wide by 8 feet deep, 8 feet high. Air-conditioned storage. With a chain link fence and a gate and all that. And we've got 2 of them full, top to bottom. But if we were to go outside and store that stuff, it costs $400 a month. So our share, we pay $75 a month for both bays. So for the two bay, the double wide. I don't know what else to call it. So, have a little sip of tea here. So I was looking on Facebook, or let's do it. We'll do it on here, and let's get it so that we can see both of us. Oh, look at that. There we go. That's better. See that? We've got that right there. So on here, I'm going to shrink that down. Marilyn and I have shakes every morning. Oh, darn it, I was going to go get a shake in the kitchen. It's a little package. I don't like to scoop it out of a canister because, in out contamination. This way is properly measured. It's in a, in a wrapper about this big, 5 inches by 5 inches. And you rip open the top and you pour the stuff in the blender. Well, here's the blender we use. BlendJet. You plug a charger right in there. This is the button that turns it on. It's got nice safety features. It comes with a 12 ounce. You can get this is a 14 ounce. What do you call it? You need 20. You need 20 ounce. Costs $15, and you get another one of the white cylinders, and it screws on there, and the top screws on there. It's all consistent. And so we just put this, in the closet because I have. So that's the blender. It plugs in. It'll do 50. It'll blend 15 shakes. On one charge. So you don't need to charge it every time. You don't need that. You can't have it plugged in. It won't operate if it's plugged in. But it's got a very powerful electric motor. These blenders used to be very weak. Not a very strong motor. This is super strong motor. If you put water in there with some ice and you blend it for a second, which I do, I put, so in the large tube, which is 20 ounce, I have a marking right about there, which is the 12 ounce mark. It's you can't hardly see it on this picture, but it's got markings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, ounce mark. Well, on the 12 ounce mark, you add ice and water up to that mark. Then you put the shake in, put the top on, hit the button, and that's how, those are the proportions. So 12 ounces of ice and water combined, needing like 11 ounces of water and a handful of ice cubes brings it up to about 12 ounces. But maybe just a tad over, it's okay. You can go to 13 ounces if you have to, if you happen to. Then you put the shake on top. Put this screw-on lid on the top. I cut off the little strap, I don't know what strap for. And hit that button and let it blend. It blends, it has like a self-timer in there. And it blends and blends and blends, and it basically fills the whole jar up with, with the shake and the ice and the water. And it blends it beautifully. Then it will turn off. And then you let it rest for, 20, 30 seconds. Or until you're ready to have it. You can just leave it in there and put this whole thing in the refrigerator and let it sit there waiting for the little woman to get out of the shower. Because I get all this stuff set up early, But I won't blend it until we're within, 15 minutes of consuming it. So since you can't time that perfectly all the time, so I blend it and then I put it in the refrigerator. And when Marilyn is ready, then I take it out of the refrigerator, take the top off, pour it in a container, a 20-ounce styrofoam container. This is a 20-ounce, stainless steel. But I have 20-ounce styrofoam containers, and it fills it right up to, about 19 ounces in a 20-ounce thing. It fills it right up. It's like perfect. I measured it all out before I bought this stuff. And I think I got the right styrofoam cups coming from Amazon.com. I got 100 of them. They're very, this is not right, it's not back. But it should be right. And it comes with lids, little lids that fit on top. And I have 10-inch straws. Put that right in there. And that's it right there. This is an 8.5-inch straw. It'll fit just like that. I happen to have this with iced tea right at the moment. And that's our breakfast. And when you have one of those shakes, so when she's sitting at her desk, which is right over there, doing what she does in the morning, putting on her makeup and stuff because she's got a mirror and she's got her iPhone, and, All right, how we doing here? Let's turn it off. There we go. There we go. See, it's got a nice display on it. A bigger clock. I'm going to turn this light down a little bit. This is the iPhone. So it's time there, temperature 91 degrees. High of 92, supposed to be today. All right, so I got through the blender business. So here's I wrote out the instructions. Okay, this 20-ounce large jar is perfect size to make an Isogenics daily shake. Add cold, purified water and a scoop of ice. I changed it to a handful because who knows what a scoop is. But yeah, it's just 4 or 5 cubes, throw it in there. And then add water, bring the total amount of ice and water up to the 12-ounce marking on the blender jar. Okay, then you add your shake powder from the packet, put the cap on, blend it for about 30 seconds. The Blend Jet 2 will stop automatically after about 20 or 30 seconds. Let it stand for a minute or two, and then when you're ready to consume the shake, just push the blend button on there for another 10 seconds just to mix it around. Pour it in a styrofoam, put the lid, put the straw on, you're ready to go. Now, in Marilyn's case, I get it all set up with the jar, the ice, and the water. I put the cap on. It's got a little motor on the bottom. Put that in the refrigerator and just let it sit. And then when she's ready, she comes out, I'll take the lid off the Blend Jet and dump in the powder and then blend it. And then we're done. And then I'll pour it right in her styrofoam cup and then carry it out to her at her desk. And when you pour it out, it'll go right up to about the 18 or 19 ounce, it'll be within about an inch of the top of the styrofoam 20 ounce cup. So 20 ounce cup is perfect size. 16 ounce cup, it's not big enough, You need a 20 ounce cup for the blended materials. All right, so that's it. That's my little written thing. I have this up on Facebook in case you want to look at it later. Here's a nice little, my phone shows these little widget things on the very left side of my home page on my iPhone. And here it just happens to be our two cats, a boy and a girl. Boy, Kino, and Caribou. We're sorry to say Caribou passed away 10 days ago, so now we just have Kino. And the black cat, which is Kenya. We named all our animals after coffees. So we had Min Pins, we had two Min Pins, Mocha and Latte. All right? And so Kino and Kenya, they're coffee names of African coffees. That's how we came up with the names. And that's today's date. It's, when I put this together, around noon, it was 89 degrees. And now it's up to, according to this, 91. This other way. So you can probably see that through. Get this out of the way. All right, so we'll go this way. So, I'm just looking at some of the top stories, which I image and put into my photo album. So when I'm chit-chatting here, it reminds me of, some of the stories. Some of the nasty, I wouldn't say nasty, but the unfortunate details of the war in Ukraine is that Putin just exploded 80 million pounds of grain. Okay, 80 million. That's 40,000 tons. I was going to say, my God, 40,000 tons. What's that in pounds? Well, you multiply one by the other, it's 80 million pounds. God. If you use a pound is probably 2 handfuls of grain. So 1 handful of grain would feed you, feed the average person for a whole day. Because by the time you cook the grain, then it expands. What's that when you add a little sauce to it, whatever. So that's like 160 million meals. It's a terrible waste. Just think of all this, the farmers and everything that grew the crops and, strained the grain out of the rest of the plant, which is, it's done on a machine, but God, it's just to blow it up, just to be, nasty, for war purpose. I don't like it. Do not like it. So, let's try. That should be on now. Is it on? It is on. This is a very special. You can't really see it. Visually, it's in this thing. Let's see if you can tell. This is a boom mic that I use with my iPhone or my other camera. It's very directional. And it only hears things that are right in front of it. So you can have a marching band in the background, whatever, and when you're interviewing the coach, and only the sounds that are right in front of this baby are going into the production. Let me just bend this down a little bit. Pull that over a little bit. There we go. But I use this other one. I forget what they call it. KM. Oh, rats. I got the box right up there. Oh, KSM 8. It's a magnificent, Shure SCHURE mic. KSM 8. Here it is, right here. Yeah. Anyway, so this is the main one. It has excellent audio characteristics. Anyway, so that's what's going on in the Ukraine thing. All kinds of other things, but I don't know enough to speak of it. Another thing is our governor, DeSantis, has sent a statement that certain districts that surround the Disney area will no longer participate in any attempt to divide us by race or advance the notion that we are not created equal. And that's it. So Disney, like it or lump it. I would think they'd like it. Okay, so that's the thing there. And the governor is standing in front of the Great Seal. Here's two new watch faces, apparently, for the Apple Watch Ultra. It'll work on my Apple Watch also, which I really like. You can see the color. Okay, whoops. There you go. My pulse is 73 for recorded history. I mean, it's amazing. It keeps track of your pulse 24/7, creates charts, sends it to my other health apps and analyzes it and tells myself. And anyone else who's interested, what's going on with my my heart. Oh, excuse me. Had a little cough. The next thing I wanted to show you, just for the fun of it, is that here's a picture. This guy's holding, looks like a hose. Oops. But it's the plug that goes into the tractor trailers. Remember, Tesla's making electric tractor trailers. And here's the end of the plug. If you're looking, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4. You got 5, and there are 5 over here. So 5, 10, 15, 20. You have 20 different contacts that are plugging in into the receptacle. And then these three are to read control circuits, as far as managing the battery, operation, and also control circuits so that it gets your credit card number, your account number, bank number, whatever number you use associated with your Tesla vehicle, and for just regular retail customers like myself. There's a Tesla app, that, here we go, it's right here. There's the Tesla app. And it says over here, overhead cabin overheat protection. It's on. And the interior temperature is 87. Now, if I didn't have that on, the car would get over 110 degrees inside. So when Marilyn opens the door, it's in the bank parking lot, whoosh, there's this huge plume of hot air hitting her in the face when she gets in the car. So, no. Plus, I don't want everything that's in the car to be in, 110, 20, 30 degree, the temperature. Matter of fact, Elon Musk, yesterday, in a video tape ceremony regarding their earnings report, they said no one has ever died in a Tesla. Because people leave their kids in the car, and then there's overheat protection built into the car. No, I have it set to 85 degrees. So it won't get 5 degrees over 85 degrees. You have settings. The overhead protection. Oh, I see. It's set 90, 95, and 100. I have it set to 90. And right now it's at 87. The exterior air temperature, according to my Funkin' Wagnall here, is 94 degrees. But if you had the car, locked up, windows up and sitting there in the sun, uncovered parking, the interior temperature of the car would be 120, 130 degrees. So if you had someone in there, they'd be medium rare. Woo! Yeah, they'd be dead. But no one's ever died in a Tesla because it has cabin overheat protection. And 90, 95, and 100, I have it set to 90, which means it'll internally, the air conditioner will go on, cool it down a little bit. It'll automatically move the windows down maybe a half inch and suck in some exterior air to cycle through the car to, for the overheat protection activities. It'll do all those things. Anyway, plus, I have the car scheduled for 4:45 p.m. The air conditioning will actually start on the car and bring the cabin temperature to 72. So when she gets in the car at 5 o'clock, it'll be 72 degree air in the entire car. The seats will be cooled. The steering wheel will be cooled down. So, that's the beauty of this kind of car. It's not that much more expensive than any other car, It's not the cheapest car, but it's certainly pretty nice. And our mileage right now is 14,373. Down the bottom of the whole thing, it gives you the mileage and what software version you're dealing with so far. And release notes tells you what the software release, what they did, minor fixes. Tire service mileage now can be put in there by myself or the service guy. You can adjust the text sizes of the text on the screens. Anyway, so they have all this software stuff that they can, change and put right in your, over-the-air updates. It goes right in, and it tells you, we have an update for you. When would you like to download your update and install it on your car? So that I just updated the software like last Friday or Saturday. Yeah. Anyway, so the big talk of the town was that Tesla came up with their plug has been adopted by just about all the electric car manufacturers. General Motors, Ford was the first one. Then came GM. And just about everybody. Porsche is adopting it. Why wouldn't you? They have 20,000 billing things. Why wouldn't you? Elon Musk said, "Hey, you adopt to this plug, and you can plug into any of our superchargers. You have to pay for the electricity, but you have a spot to fill up. Just like with your gas tank. But this is electricity. There's 20,000 of them all over the United States, all over North America. So let's see oh geez, that's too small. Let's see if I can show you the plug. I have a picture of it, obviously. Jimmy's got pictures of everything. I'm not gonna waste a bunch of time on that. But anyway, so remember they were talking about blind saucer. This is pretty big stuff. It's gone before, the congressional open hearing. And they've had private meetings with that and with the Pentagon. And apparently they've got one or more of these flying saucer things that have crashed. And we've picked up the pieces and have it in a warehouse somewhere, in a secure location, So everyone's asking, and they said, and one guy said, and some of them that have crashed contained biological material. And one of the congresswomen said, is it human material? And he said, it is not from this earth. It is not human. So there are little green men. So there should be some follow-up with that, since it's come up in open, hearing panel. So that would be quite something to, just imagine the metal material. What is the metal? Here's the plug. So here's, one second. So here's the plug that when I'm, if this was connected to the charging, that's what I would plug into my car, and it would plug into this. So this is the socket, and that's the plug. and there's somebody. So they're going to be installing those kinds of plugs on, these. This is Electrify America. That's they've got a lot of things open. They're going to want to do this too. In other words, so they'll have a cable with this thing on it. And then you can plug this into your car and charge your car, and then, they can fill up the electricity. We have an outlet in our garage, so it was filled up last night, which is nice. If there's a secret parking place in the garage on the second level behind the column, and you can plug into that and charge your car. It's a doctor friend of mine put the plug in. A couple of years ago. And I said, well, would you mind if I plugged in? As long as it's not, as long as you don't need to be plugged in. May I plug in? Wrote him a nice letter and introduced myself. And very nice man. We like each other. We send text messages back and forth. And so I charge as often as I can in the garage. Because, Marilyn plugged in this Wednesday, so Tuesday evening, she plugged right in, filled it right up, and there's, didn't fill it all the way, filled it to 90% mark. I have it set to 90%. So for the battery longevity, it's best to charge it up to 80 or 90%, as long as it's your daily routine. But if you have to go on a trip and you want to fill it all the way up, no problem, you can do that. They just don't want you filling it up all the way to the tippy top, every other day for, just routine, commuting. So so I have it set to 90%. It's for the health of the battery. We went to Chops, and I had a fillet. As Maryland, we had, they call it steak bits and a salad. So this was an 8-ounce fillet. So we each essentially had a half a fillet with a chopped salad. I had the wedge. It's a iceberg wedge with like a vinaigrette, which they make up for me. They normally don't have it, but they make it up, shake it up, and put it in a thing on the side, and then I pour it around on my iceberg, and it's marvelous. So that's my new little treat. So that costs, like $19. It's like an early bird appetizer kind of thing. So that's it. Marilyn and I each had that. Had a vodka and soda. Let's see what's going on here. I'm looking at the I have to go. I was looking for nozzle on that. So now you know, and this is the kind of a plug that goes into, the tractor trailer, which is a lot of, that goes up to 1,000 volts. Our chargers only go up to, they run around 300 volts. So here's the 4 crew members. Crew number 7, left to right, got their names there, which you can see. And they're standing on top of, they were examining the emergency egress and ingress from their spaceship when it gets launched. I think SpaceX is actually manufacturing that to NASA's specifications. So here's a lady in this is the charging station, and this guy right here is trying to get that plugged in, because that is a Tesla truck. You can see by the beautiful rounded edges of that baby, which is the most aerodynamic tractor trailer. Anyway, so pick that up somewhere. The world is a better place with you in it. Well, thank you. I don't mind if I do. Yep, from Maryland. You can see it up in the top. It was her posting this morning. The world is a better place with you in it. So I trimmed it down, put it on, and sent it up through one of my channels on the internet. Of course, the news of former President Trump getting indicted again. I don't know, this is from the legals, not the pundits, not the news pundits or the political pundits, but if you listen to the lawyers that have read the 45-page indictment, they say it's all political. As a matter of fact, the whole indictment is a political speech. It has the talking points. And, they're prosecuting Trump for what he might have thought at the time. Now, how the hell would they know what he might have thought? I mean, what are they, mind readers? So it's stupid, They're tying up, they're just trying to make him so busy that he can't run for office, because they're afraid if he runs for office, he's going to beat Biden. I don't have a doubt in my mind. Now, there are some people that just don't like Trump. Now, truth be told, which I'm always a truth teller, I was not, 100%. Trump was not my first guy. When they had the 15 Republicans up there in 2016, I guess, Rubio was the guy that I kind of liked the best of all of them. But, Trump knocked them all off one by one, and he was the last man standing. Now, from the time that he was a nominee to the time he was elected and in office, I was the Trump guy. I was definitely started to appreciate Trump. He's a tough cookie. There's no question. But, remember, these guys They don't have to be your house guest. You know, the liberals say, is this the guy you would like to have a beer with? Not exactly. I'd have a beer with him, but I could think of, lots of other people I'd rather have a beer with. And if I had the occasion of having a beer with Trump, that'd be okay. He doesn't drink, and I don't like drinking beer in a bar. I don't like drinking beer, period. But anyways, it's this colloquial thing. Is he the guy you'd have a beer with? Well, that's not the... I want somebody that's going to kick ass, get after all these munchkins and get them working, a day's work for a day's pay, and, do a good job as your, in your government positions. So I don't, I want the guy to be tough. I don't want him to be some marshmallow guy that's, holding babies and kissing babies. No. I want him to be a tough guy. And he's got he can be a decent fellow. He's got a family, very successful family. The three sons and the daughter, Ivanka, they're all really very successful kids. Now the 14, the 16 or 17-year-old, he's still in high school. So, but you have, Eric, you got Donald Jr., they're both extremely successful. Ivanka had a whole line of clothing and handbags and shoes and all. She'll probably, resurrect that and make that company again. I mean, it's $1 billion enterprise. But when she got, in the White House, her father wanted her, in there as an advisor because, he wants to know what a 35-year-old thinks about things, at the time. He knows how he thinks, but how do you think? And that'll help, balance what he thinks, because you've got 35-year-old people, you got 45, 55, 65, so he can understand the mature audience, but he wants to know what the young people think about, whatever is going on. So that's why he wanted Ivanka in there. And Jared, he's no dummy. He was a very important political advisor. The stock exchange. What's going to happen? These higher, I'm a retired banker. I did commercial lending, mostly real estate lending. I did run a commercial loan department, that makes balance sheet loans and so forth. I did that for, a couple of years because World Trust needed someone to run the main office commercial loan department. So I did, I threw my hat in the ring, said, okay, you need someone to run it, I'll run it. A loan's a loan. It's either secured or it's not. If it's unsecured, I'm going to analyze that just like anybody else would. And if it's secured, all right, so you examine the collateral and you see, how marketable the collateral is, and all this kind of stuff. If the inventory is a bunch of ladies' shoes, that's like having a warehouse full of eggs. You better sell them all this season because they are perishable. Even though they're shoes, they're perishable anyway. I guess we had the president of the bank at the time. I nicknamed him Marmaduke. He's a big guy with, that big dog with the big ears. Anyway, he was a big guy. He was, he was a friend, but he was a business. You make friends with people that you work with. We played racquetball 2 or 3 times a week in the Coliseum in Miami. That's, this is like 35 years ago, 30 years ago, 25 years ago, whatever. And he's big. He's like 6'7". So when he spreads his arms out, he can almost touch both walls. And I'm like, not a big guy. I go 5'8" at the time. So I'm running around the racquetball court, and he's running around. So we had very hard matches. A game would be 19-21 or 21-19. It was, you got to win by 2, and it was never, it always went higher than the limit. Anyway, so when I got done with that, my whole body was hot, So when I go in the shower, I turn the water to cold, and I tried to get it as cold as I could stand it, and you just get that cold water all over me, because it was, I had to. Just the water was steaming off my body. Oh, yes. Apparently, someone said there's an outbreak of black snakes. In Florida, they're known as indigo snakes. It's the sole predator to the rattlesnake. This guy will eat a rattlesnake whole. They just swallow it all the way down. And, they don't have teeth. He's not poisonous, but he can, I guess because of his speed, he can, get close to a rattlesnake, sneak up, and bam, just move at him and open up his mouth and get his head in there, and then start working his body down inside and then of course the rattlesnake would never have a chance to bite him, because he got his head in there before he could open up his mouth. So, I'm guessing how that works. I've never actually seen that, but how does one snake eat another? That's the only way I could think of. Next month you're going to have a new iPhone 15, so it may look like that, the back of it. The other big change is one of these is going to be connected to a periscope inside here. And it'll have up to 6x zoom on one of these lenses. 6x optical zoom. So that's pretty good zoom, for a phone. It's amazing. It's been all engineered. We think it's 6x. Yep. So, I have this. It's handy. This is the coolest thing. I found this, of course, online. And you can see it. It's got a handle on each side, and the phone clips on here. Just like that. So that sits on there. You push that down, you screw this little screw thing. Yeah. Ouch. And you put it on camera. So now you have, you can see that. So instead of fooling around with the, holding it, you have this, and it makes it a lot steadier. You can put, this boom mic, I put that right on here. And I have the fittings that go on the side of the camera. So that it gets into the microphone part of the circuitry. So here's what that side would look like. You know, you got the cameras. But that's pretty cool. It costs like $40. I said, I gotta have this thing. I had this, this Rube Goldberg, self-engineered thing, which was terrible. So I took that all apart. So the heck with that. I'm gonna run with this thing. So that's Newer. Newer. Amazon.com. Newer. The iPhone camera holder. It'll hold any, phone like that. Doesn't have to be an iPhone. So that's a little secret device that I had sitting up here. Giving away all my trade secrets. I think I had my phone in that for the 4th of July show that we had. The recents. There's a video. Probably is. Anyway. Fourth of July, Jay. Let's see if it comes up with anything. Yeah, there's a let's see. Oh, yeah. So here's some stuff. This is recent stuff. Yeah. Let's just do this little 12-second piece right here. I don't think it's picking up the sound over on this. But you can see how it's not bad. I was holding it with this thing. Pretty cool. Right outside our balcony. The explosive fills up the whole. You don't have to park. Yeah. Standing at the balcony with your iced tea. And, amazing. All right. It's 59 minutes and 18 seconds. So I think it should be let's swap cameras. See if I can do that. Swap cameras. There we go. So we had the big 4th of July thing filling up your screen, and Jimmy's down here in the corner. That's pretty amazing. I'm sorry you can't hear the sound, although you should be able to hear it. No sound. Okay, well, can't have everything. Whoa, there's epidemias. Anyway, so we are, we're leaving you with the 4th of July goodbye. So even though it's 8-2, and I got my lease taken care of. Thank God. Phew. All right, so we'll try to connect tomorrow. And let's finish this up with epidemias. And we'll see you tomorrow. Have a good evening.